That's a 44-yard penalty. Brady, end zone, touch. It's third down. Underneath, and touchdown.
Let's talk about another team. Another game. Monday Night Football. 17-16, Bucks win. And I was going to do the show to start criticizing Tom Brady. I was in my room making notes, watching the game, and I was saying, this is bad. He had about 180 and interceptions, no touchdowns. It was early in the fourth quarter, and I was just saying, come on, right? Like, come on, let's go. And not to play better, because I know he would ultimately play better when the time mattered, which he did. But he just didn't look like he was having fun, and he didn't show the leadership. And the leadership is something that really got Brady 7 Super Bowls. Because you have to be an excellent leader to have your team buy in 7 times and more like 10 or 11 to get to the Super Bowl. And once they got behind him, once Brady had that first touchdown drive, the second one came pretty easy. The Bucks are now 6-6. They won't make the playoffs. But at least it was on Monday Night Football. At least Brady showed a little bit of light. And Brady had 2 straight touchdown drives to win the game in the last 2 seconds. And it just shows who Brady is, right? He was mad. ESPN showed him cussing on the sidelines and, throwing his iPad. Kind of like a 2-year-old, but he's a little better football player. He was, just didn't look like he was having fun. And this is a guy that is never stressed. This is a guy really that has a poker face. He went on the sidelines, and the last 2 drives he scored touchdowns. Just amazing from him. 44 years old. He could still do that on Monday Night Football. But we have to talk about the future of Tom Brady. Because I don't think he's going to stay next year. I think he's going to try one more place. And I haven't heard anything. No one's heard anything. Of course, he's not really into the public eye, but that he was going to retire a second time. And I think football takes his mind off life. And, he hasn't really showed any sadness for him, divorcing his wife. And I think he went to the football field to kind of cope with that. So I think he'll want another year, need another few years. Because, he loves it. And he just lost something he loved too. And guess who needs a QB? The Raiders. Because Derek Carr is not staying with the Raiders next year. I'll guarantee you that. There's a real possibility Brady could go to the Raiders. And I've been saying this since last year. I'm saying, Derek Carr haven't really proved that much. Brady, if he struggles, Raiders. We know the relationship with Mike McDaniel going back to, early in his Patriots days. We know Mark Davis, the owner, he's made multiple comments how he really likes Tom Brady. They're even somewhat friends, we've seen. And also, I think it's an interesting point that Vegas is a big city. Lots of spotlight. And Brady never played in a big city. He played in Tampa. He's played in New England. Even in college, he played in Ann Arbor, Michigan. He hasn't really played in a big city, and I think, big city with more to do, I think that could also take his heart off his family problems. But for the time being, they have a hard schedule. They won versus the struggling Saints, 17-16. He showed light, but I'm really interested to see what he does next because, he could go to the Raiders or he could even retire. He doesn't say that much. We don't know that much about him. He doesn't go on Pat McAfee's show like Aaron Rodgers. He keeps quiet. So my best bet would be going to the Raiders if he does anything but retire at the end of the season.